In this video, you're gonna learn a psychological technique that's so powerful to land your dream job in any career that you want. You won't even need a resume or a cover letter, and you won't need to apply cold online to any job postings. I've used this technique myself to get my dream job after my master's that allowed me to travel the world for 3 years living and working remotely. And I've also seen friends use it to get into some of the best universities, such as Stanford and Cambridge as well. And at the end of the video, after I explain this method, I'm also gonna give you what I think is the best up and coming strategy to get jobs that no one is currently using and is already an old and established technique in marketing as well. Hey everyone, if you're new here, my name's Grayson and I'm a University of Cambridge public health graduate who's fascinated about psychology and makes videos to improve your communication, to help you with psychological tricks in relationships and anything to do with psychology. So if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure you subscribe and follow along, and I'll see you in the next videos. All right, so before I let you know what the method is called and dive into it, why do we need it? The truth is the job market is broken. People cold apply for jobs and then never hear back. Did you know that 66% of employers actually just hire internally and never look outwards? And then 80% of the resumes they actually receive for the ones who do look outwards, they only look at for 11 seconds. So this is a new method that goes beyond this traditional outdated system that just clearly isn't working for anyone. The technique is to utilize the power of what's called informational interviews. I'll explain what that actually is and then break it down step by step for you guys so that it's simple and easy. Informational interviews are when you reach out to someone from a company to learn more about their day-to-day work experience and the company as well. Are you ready for the steps? First, you're gonna need a LinkedIn account. If you don't have LinkedIn in your country, something else where people post jobs or their professional network. If you don't have a LinkedIn, don't worry, because I will help you and give you tips to set one up, and it's pretty quick. Once you have your LinkedIn account set up, what you're gonna do is make a list of your dream companies. It does not matter what field. It can be engineering, psychology, it could be a school you wanna go to. You're gonna go on LinkedIn, search up that company, and then click See Employees. Go through that employee list and find 5 employees from the CEO all the way to the bottom person, a mix of people, and then message them on LinkedIn with a message that's like this. Hey, I'm really interested in your company for this reason. I have experience in this. Would you mind taking 5 to 15 minutes to explain to me more about what's going on in your company? A second message that you could do is you could actually go into, for instance, the company website and find something that the company could be doing better and then tell them that in the initial message. If you can provide them value on that first message, they're gonna be curious and want to have a call with you. You're gonna continue this process with 5 to 10 different companies with 5 people at each company. Once you start landing informational interviews and you actually go into the interview, now's the time to shine. What you're gonna do is come into the call with really good energy, and you don't wanna be trying to get anything from the person. You need to show genuine curiosity towards them and be curious about what they do in the profession. The ultimate goal on the first call with someone is to actually set up a call with someone else in the same organization. So at the end of the call, you're gonna say something like, oh, is there anyone else I can speak to about this particular thing in the company? You're gonna continue this process until you've had calls with 3, 4, 5 different people in the company to the point that when they have their meetings, they're curious and talking about you during the meetings. There's a psychological phenomenon that people like people that they see more frequently. So if you can get around and have informational interviews with all the people in the company and can show that you're passionate and knowledgeable about the field, then they'll be more likely to even create a job for you, which is what happened to me. There was no job posting online and they ended up creating a job, and I did this with 3 different companies. This method is incredibly powerful for 2 reasons. I don't have to write cover letters anymore and don't have to have a resume. When people do an informational interview with you from LinkedIn, your resume is already on LinkedIn. And they don't care about a cover letter because they're seeing you face to face and hearing your story. And then the second best part of it, and arguably the best part by far, is you actually build a network as well. So you'll have informational interviews like I did that end up going nowhere because they don't have a job for you, or it's just bad timing or whatever it is. But regardless, people love helping other people, right? And so in the future, there might be an opportunity to work with that person. And so you build your connections on LinkedIn, you build your network, and you also get the job as well. All right, it's time for the secret method that I think is gonna be the most powerful going forward, and that I don't hear anyone talking about online, all right? And it's to use a technique in marketing called sending looms. Looms are short videos that are used in marketing, typically in order to sell a product or a service to someone. What you can do to be ahead of the game as more and more stuff goes towards video is to actually send looms to potential employers through cold email or on LinkedIn to introduce yourself and to also find a problem in their organization and say how you could fix it. If you send a message, something like, hey, I love your organization, it's super interesting. I noticed this problem. I made a video below, a 30-second video below, explaining how I could solve it. Do you want to jump on a call? They will for sure watch that video. They'll absolutely love that you took that initiative. And I think it's just an instant job for you.